Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review an independent film that's been getting tons of attention and being called one of the best romantic comedies probably ever, The Big Sick. And this is a story about Namil Nanjani, who is an actual comedian, and him and his wife wrote this film about how they met and how she was in a medically induced coma and he connected with her parents and them getting together. And it's actually a really moving film. It's really, really funny. It's definitely one of the funniest films I've seen this whole entire year. And this film was directed by Michael Showalter, and the film is very smooth throughout for the most part, and how they tell the story has this energy to it, and how they build it up and the aesthetic to everything is that it's very quirky and bouncy throughout, and it makes the story move quickly and move forward at a nice pace. I never feel bored during this film, and it gives the story some energy and allows it to move forward very well, except towards the third act of the film there's a lot going on and trying to tie up a lot of loose ends, so it gets a little clunky, but overall the storytelling is really well done, and it's a well balanced film, and you feel those emotional moments, you really get the comedy, and you get the sense that this feels real for the most part, and there's very few scenes that feel like, oh, I'm watching a movie kind of thing, which is really reassuring, especially for a romantic film, because usually they feel very staged and cliche. This film feels very natural, and there's moments of actual emotion that really affect you, and also you're laughing the whole entire time throughout this movie because it's absolutely hilarious. And the cinematography by Brian Burgoyne, it's a very well shot film, and it's visually appealing. It looks very nice. It's not like groundbreaking cinematography or amazingly artful shots, but it looks very well done, put together. There are a few shots using long takes and tracking shots that work very well, but overall, it does its job, it looks really good, and it serves the film. In terms of the writing, Camille and his wife Emily V. Gordon wrote this film, and all the characters are very quirky and layered, where you're getting a sense of who these people are. And some of the great things, even the little quirks that all the characters have, you can really feel who's actually related to each other, and you really feel the chemistry between the characters because they really feel natural, and you really, really believe Camille and Emily as a couple, and you get why they're having these problems and why there's some hesitation and how things are naturally pulling apart and how the story is unraveling. You figuring out things about each other, and those connections that he builds with her parents are really endearing, and him dealing with his own family things. Camille's a very interesting character, and I keep saying characters, these are real life people, but obviously it's a film so they're dramatized, but they're very interesting characters, and for a film like this you need interesting characters and great chemistry, because why are you going to care about the romance? Why are you going to care about these family dynamics if you don't get why they feel that way about each other? And in terms of the dialogue, this is a hilarious film start to finish. There's tons of jokes. They almost all of them hit very, very well, and I was laughing the whole time, and everything feels pretty natural. I did mention before there's a few scenes that feel a little, hey, this is a movie kind of thing, but overall it does feel very natural, and it makes sense, and you understand why people act the way they do and the point that you're getting to, and the dialogue is very well written in this film. And the themes of love, and whether it's love or duty to your family that you should be getting married for, is a very common thing for a lot of people in cultures with arranged marriages, and a lot of immigrants coming here wanting their families to get the American experience but not really want them to be very American and hold on to the culture that they brought with them. And Camille even brings up, like, why'd you even bring me here kind of thing, and that's real conflict, and he has a lot to deal with his identity, and that's a big theme in this film, and it's really well handled. The music is from Michael Andrews, it fits very well. It fits the aesthetic of this quirky kind of indie film. So it's not like something that's going to stand out and be super memorable, but it fits the film and services the film the way it should. And the performances. Now, everybody does their job fantastically, and just a shout out to all the actors who I don't know their names or really recognize them, but the actors who played Camille's family all did a fantastic job and created a real family dynamic that really, really was believable and made sense why Camille has all these conflicts and would care and has all these moments with his family. But Camille Nanjiani, this is a big starring role for him, and he really stood out. And I won't be surprised if he gets a lot more leading roles in comedies now, because I've only seen him in little bit parts. I'm like, who is this guy? I've never watched Silicon Valley, so I didn't know him from that. Like, he popped up in Fist Fight earlier this year, and I'm like, huh, I don't know who that is. But he seems pretty funny. Didn't have a whole lot to do in that film, but he had a lot to deal with in this film and really steps up and makes you feel those emotional moments as well, along with the comedy. And Zoe Kazan does such a great job as Emily. She has so many quirks and little things about her that makes her very endearing, and you get why Camille really likes her, and then you get why she acts the way she does, and it's very natural. And the great thing is the different things that she does you see in Ray Romano and Holly Hunter as her parents, and you're like, they could actually be a family. And I could see them actually being a mother and daughter. It was extremely believable, and that's really great in this film. And one little shout out, because Holly Hunter and Ray Romano do fantastic jobs in this film. I never thought I'd see Ray Romano like really stick out in something besides Everybody Loves Raymond. And Bo Burnham, just one little supporting character in this, one of Camille's friends. Literally every line out of his mouth was hilarious, so I just wanted to give a little shout out to him because he was hilarious. He was great comic relief in this film about a comedian, so there's a lot of people making jokes. Overall, I think this film is one of the best romantic comedies I've ever seen, and it's definitely one of the best films of the year. It doesn't quite crack my top 5 right now, but it's definitely up there. I'm going to give The Big Sick an A.